Oh, hey everyone. Sorry it's taken me so long to post another video, but my mouth has been kind of closed. Apparently it's non-essential. Whatever. Anyway, so what's up, my fellow BJs? Oh, I missed you guys. Okay, so I know that everyone is still on lockdown for the most part, and some of you are probably going a little stir crazy right about now. That is, if you haven't already. And if you have, then it probably isn't really going to matter what I say. So in that case, all y'all's just pick up a straw, made out of paper, of course. You're welcome, California. Stick it in a bottle of wine. Then grab a bag of pork rinds or chicharrones or whatever you want to call them and rip them open. Oh, forget it. Just grab any bag of chips. And then sit back, relax, and just enjoy the rest of the video. Okay? Great. Now, there are currently many different types of at-home situations going on right now around the world. Some people are at home with their families or their significant other. They may have roommates. They may be in a retirement home or a nursing facility or even prison. And some people are unfortunately alone. So let's go over the different ways that we can manage being at home and take advantage of this opportunity of all this free time that we have. It's not often that we get this, so let's make it count. I'll start with what everyone can relate to and what each and every one of us can do right now, regardless of your at-home situation. Now is the time to reflect back on our lives, go over the accomplishments that we made and the mistakes we made, what worked, what didn't work, what can be fixed, what changes we could make if we could, and if we are truly happy with where we are at in our lives right now. Are you really happy with your current job or career, or the job that you were in, or that you used to have? Is there a job that you've always wanted? If so, what has stopped you from pursuing it? Are you happy with your current path? Are you happy with where you're at in life? Are you happy with your relationship, or are you just settling? Do you have any regrets? Are there things that you wanted to do but didn't? Are there chances you wanted to take but were afraid to? A new language you wanted to learn? A new business you wanted to start? Or maybe a hobby you wanted to take on, or a new skill you wanted to learn? Are you having clarity problems or issues that are affecting you mentally? Do you think that you needed to talk to someone or ask for help? See the pattern here? Right now, you need to take the time for you. Now, I'm not saying to just ignore the people around you and let them fend for themselves. What I'm saying is that right here, this moment, right now, is where you need to take advantage of this free time and finally make the time to actually implement any changes that you want to make in your life to better the future for you, for your family, significant other, or anyone else around you. Now is the time for you to reevaluate your happiness and to start planning or taking the steps necessary to make those changes. Because when you're happy, everyone around you is happy. You will have less stress in your life, and you will seem to exude positive energy all around you and to those you come in contact with. The more positive changes you make, the more happier your life becomes, and the more goals and dreams you can achieve. Plus, for some of you, it keeps the little lady happy. And for just 3 easy payments of $99.99, you too can have the life of a superstar by following my program. But wait, there's more! Now, I'm not promising you that everything's going to be roses, because it takes a lot of hard work and effort in order to create and implement change and to achieve your goals and success in life. But nothing is going to change unless you make it change. And putting together a plan is a start. So the questions I presented earlier are the questions we need to ask ourselves so we can better our lives going forward. Because let's face it, the new normal is about to change, and we need to change with it by creating a new world where we start caring more about each other and helping each other when we are in need. We need to start working together instead of against each other. We need to lift each other up and help each other succeed. Life is not a competition, and we need to stop treating it like it is. The old ways simply will not work anymore. And as you can see, we are not coming together as a country. We are being divided and spread even further apart day by day. And that needs to change if we want any good to come out of all of this. We need to get rid of the old ways of thinking and even what some of us were taught, because obviously in this day and age, it is not working. It is wrong. We all bleed the same color. We are all created equal. No one is above anyone else. Human beings are human beings, period. We all come from the same source. We are one. We are all here for a reason, and it's not to see who can die with the biggest bank account. Jeff Bezos. Okay, so let's go over the different type of at-home situations. The key here is going to be communicate, communicate, communicate. I cannot stress this enough. Communication is the key. Everyone must communicate or we will not get through this together without having issues. And don't just listen to the at-home type that applies to you, but listen carefully to all the different situations, as many of the suggestions may apply to everyone across the board. The first at-home type of situation is the
living with my husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, significant other, or roommate scenario.
In this situation, it is imperative that both parties realize that they are in this together and that they must work together and not against each other, because neither one of them is the enemy. It's kind of like a teeter-totter. If you don't have balance on both sides, your ass is going to fall off. When living in this type of situation, whether we are in lockdown or not, we need to be respectful of each other and each other's boundaries. Remember, we are sharing a space with someone else, so we have to take the other's feelings and needs into account as well. Make sure that both of you know and understand each other's schedules, so that way if there's a certain type of area that you need to use, like for a work-at-home type situation, that you are able to use it and you won't interrupt or disturb the other person that's involved. You know, like when you use a dining table, when you need, space for your laptop and room to spread out your files and paperwork. Talk to the person you are living with and ask them if there's something that the two of you could work on together, or you can choose to do it on your own if you feel more comfortable that way. Things like gardening or yard work or remodeling, redecorating your space, things that you've been putting off because you never had the time to do or because you didn't have another person to help you do it. Hint, hint. Try creating some new art or taking on a new hobby or writing that book or screenplay that you've always wanted to write. The possibilities are endless and the internet has solutions. Google it! The second at-home type of situation is the
family scenario.
In this type of situation, the suggestions are basically the same as the previous scenario, only this one is very crucial as it involves children. Parents need to realize that now is the opportunity and the time for you to communicate with your child or children. They are stuck at home, indoors, and they have your undivided attention right now. So now is the time to talk to them. Find out who they really are, what makes them happy, what frightens them, and who do they want to become when they get older. Find out what is going on in their lives and what you might have missed, especially if you've never really had the time to talk in depth with them before. Schedule some time to talk to each of your children, either by yourself or both parents together. Now, these are the questions that you should be asking your child.
Number 1, how are you feeling?
This is very important, as some younger children may not even realize what's going on, and they cannot even grasp the scope of things. We need to explain to them that this is a time in our lives where we have to do things that we wouldn't normally do, because there's a sickness that's going around, and we all want to stay healthy so that way doctors can figure out a way to make things better for all of us.
Number 2, is there anything you want to talk about right now? Anything bothering you?
Make sure you actually listen to your child and then ask them questions, so that way it lets them know that you're acknowledging them and that they are important.
Number 3, what are some things that I can do to help make whatever their concern or situation is better?
This is where you can offer solutions, so that way your child understands that you really care about fixing their problem. Now, those aren't the only questions you can ask them. You can also ask them other questions like, what are they looking forward to when they go back to school? How are their friends doing? Is there anything exciting going on that they know of right now that they want to talk about? The most important thing is to let your child know that the door is open for them to come to you with any questions or concerns that they may have. Let them know that you care about them and their feelings, and that you want them to know that you are there for them, and for them not to be afraid to reach out. Children need to know that it is safe to talk about their feelings, and that they won't be ridiculed or looked down upon for doing so. Now is also the time to teach your kids new skills or help them learn new things where you would normally wouldn't have had the time to teach them before. Maybe planting or gardening, a new sport, a musical instrument, a new hobby. Help them to discover their hidden talents and talk about who they are or who they want to become. Encourage them to learn new things like balancing a checkbook or changing the oil in your car or the correct ratio of gin to vermouth in a dry martini. Well, maybe not that last one because you might get in trouble with CBS. Anyway, so the point is that remember, knowledge is power. Try to take this time to bring the family together. Suggest playing a board game or having movie night, or creating crafting hour, or playing dress up. Yes, even you too, Big Daddy. Or maybe tea time, or, meal prepping or cooking. But whatever you don't do, don't let your kids sit on their tablets, laptops, cell phones all day, every day. That's the worst thing you can do right now. Kids already do this on any given day normally, but now is your chance physically to limit that behavior. Yeah, I know, I'm going to get all this hate mail from all these teens all over the world now. I know. The third at-home type of situation is the
being in a retirement home, an assisted living home, or jail prison scenario.
This is not a typical at-home situation by any means, and is by far the most challenging. Sometimes you feel really isolated and you really don't know who you can trust or talk to, which puts yet another strain on this type of situation. In this type of situation, most people don't have control over what they can and can't do. So my suggestion is to be polite, respect each other's space, and to find something to keep you busy if you don't have someone that you regularly can talk to or associate with. You can also refer to some of the other suggestions that I state in the other three types of situations, as they can also pertain to this type of scenario. If you know of someone in this type of situation right now, it is important to remember that they are the most isolated and they can use all the love and support that you can give them. If you are able to talk to them, then call them and say hi, especially if you're not able to physically visit them. And if you can't call them, then you can, send them an old-fashioned letter, email, or send a greeting card letting them know that you are, care about them and that you're thinking about them during all of this. The last at-home type of situation that we are going to cover is probably the one that has the most effect on people, both mentally and physically, and that is the
being alone scenario.
If you are alone, please refer back to the questions that I first presented earlier in the video and try to do some deep down soul searching. Are you alone because of something that you've done, or was it something that was beyond your control? Do you have a substance or alcohol abuse problem? Is it because of a dark or negative personality or attitude and people just don't want to be around you? Are you new to town and don't really know anybody around? Are you alone because your family disowned you? Is there anything you can do to change that? Are you alone because you don't have any living family members left? Ask yourself these questions and then list all the answers until you can pinpoint the exact reason why. Now take that answer or answers and find ways that you can research to find a solution to your problems that is causing you to be alone. That's the first step. Next, research and see if there are people like you or have the same problem you do and what they have done to help rectify their situation. Are there local or social groups you can join, or a support group that you can reach out to maybe help you overcome this problem? Most communities have programs out there that can definitely help you if you're willing to put in the effort. Some suggestions? Grab your cell phone, call someone, text someone you haven't talked to in a long time, see how they're doing, strike up a conversation, see if you can help one another in a certain way. And if you don't have one already, might I suggest you getting a pet? Pets are good for helping with loneliness and depression, and they allow you to love and care for someone and also to have someone to interact with. They don't argue and won't talk back. except for, yep, cats. I've never really been fond of cats. I've always been more of a dog lover myself. I think it's because cats have this attitude about them. You can yell for them all you want, but they only come to you when they want to come to you. They jump up on everything, and they don't care if you're busy baking grandma's old-fashioned secret recipe chocolate chip cookies or not. As far as they're concerned, the counter is free game. Whereas dogs, on the other hand, sit there patiently wagging their tail waiting for that one little piece of cookie dough to drop to the floor so they can attack it like a bald overweight white guy at a charity crab feed. Another suggestion is to make amends with people. If someone has done you wrong or hurt you, try to find a solution to end the problem that stopped you guys from talking or your friendship to end in the first place. Work out your differences and try to put the past behind you if possible. Yes, now I know there are some things that are unforgivable, and you have every right to let sleeping dogs lie, so to speak. It's your choice. However, if the situation or the issue is eating at you and you want it rectified, or you want that happy ending, then you need to do what you can to reach out to that person and come to a resolution. Say you're sorry if you're the one that actually caused the problem to begin with. Extend the olive branch and try to rectify whatever bad feelings you have towards this person. And if it doesn't work, then you have to accept the fact that maybe this person doesn't really care right now or want it rectified, or maybe they're not ready to come to terms with it right now. So you must accept their decision. And it's okay, at least you tried. The most important thing you can do during this type of situation when you're alone is to be vocal. Reach out to someone and communicate your feelings, because you cannot be silent. Silence is never heard and ultimately fades away. And the last thing you want to do right now is fade away. We are all going through tough times right now, and we need to embrace each other and help each other to get through this. So if you're feeling down or alone, reach out to someone. Well, everyone, I hope I have answered the question, what am I supposed to do at home? So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that social media stuff by clicking on the links in the description below. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and don't forget to keep it real, y'all, because anyone can create a happy ending. And don't forget to wash your hands.